Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. And this week I am getting started on the process of revamping yet another space in my house. If you've been a subscriber for a few months or a lot longer, you might notice a trend of me getting started on revamping lots of different rooms in my house. And that is for a reason. So the reason I kind of keep jumping from room to room to room and just getting started on the process is because it's helping me really think through what I want to see happen in the room and what I want the design to look like. Unlike when I first tackled these spaces and I just did as much as I could as quickly as I possibly could, and then I ended up not really loving everything I went with. So I started with my living room, then I went to my husband's office, then I went to my entryway, and now I am getting started on my kitchen. And like the first time around when I tackled this space, I started with the coffee station and I took a $20 dresser and I turned it into a coffee bar. The coffee bar's not going anywhere. I still absolutely love it. I'm just gonna be refreshing basically everything around it and just like giving this little corner of the kitchen a makeover. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna head inside so I can get you guys up to speed on what I have planned for my coffee bar. Moses has a really hard life right now. Oh, he's such a good kitty cat. Okay guys, welcome to my kitchen. As you can tell, I already got started on this makeover. I just wanted to get this first step done and out of the way, and that is painting the walls white. So I figured instead of wasting your time showing you I'm painting the walls white, because that's boring content, I figured I'd just do it and tell you I did it. I did use Alabaster by Sherwin-Williams. It's a very beloved white. It looks really good in lots of different lighting, and it's one of my favorite whites to use. And if you saw my design video for my living room where I mentioned I always wanted to paint my living room white, my kitchen has always been the same way, where I really wanted to paint this room, but I didn't mind the color and there was more pressing projects to tackle. So it feels very good to finally get to the painting process for this room. And the reason I painted only the upper half of the wall is because I'm gonna be doing beadboard in this kitchen on the bottom half of the wall. And I will carry that throughout my entire kitchen, but again, I'm just focusing on the coffee corner for this week. So the first thing that I need to do is head outside and get started cutting down this beadboard so that I can get it installed. Okay guys, I am so excited. I have a new tool. Actually, not just a new tool, I have a whole new system. This is the Craig Adaptive Cutting System. It's the tabletop with the track saw with their plunge saw, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have a plunge saw. You can do so many cool things with a plunge saw. It's slightly different than a circular saw and like how it works and what you're able to do with it. And the track and the saw are basically a step up from the rip cut that I used a few videos back to build my shoe cabinet. So I have a 4x8 sheet of beadboard. What I think I'm gonna do is just get it first cut in half into a more manageable piece, and then I'll get it cut down to the specific measurement I need it to be. I'm then gonna take that beadboard inside to make sure I actually like the height. And if I do like the height, I'll go ahead and get it installed. So let's do it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to use this thing. Handling 4x8 sheets of anything is such a pain. I'm gonna measure to 4 feet. I'm gonna slide that and make sure that that line is right on the track right there. Okay, that's good. And I'm gonna push this up against these two knobs right here so that I know that I'm cutting a straight line. And then I should just be able to pick this up and yeah, flatten that out. Okay, so I'm gonna set this to, I think, 1/2 inch. Let's try this. Oh my gosh, that was so easy. Okay, now I'm gonna measure to 43.5. Okay, let's see how this is gonna look. That looks so nice. Okay, I'm gonna get this first panel installed. I have to go grab construction adhesive, my pneumatic nail gun, and air compressor. And then I also have to grab my multi-tool because I gotta get a square cut out to work around the outlet that's right down over here. But yeah, that's such a good height. 39 1/4. We'll do 9 and 13. 39 1/4. There we go. Okay guys, so the first panel is installed. Now that it is installed, I was able to go ahead and get the measurements I needed for the rest of the panels. So I'm gonna get everything cut out and then I can move inside to get it all installed. So for this last panel, this is for the wall area to the right of my patio door. So I had to cut it to 2 different lengths to work around the cabinetry and work around my countertop and the backsplash. Okay, so unfortunately I have to hold off on installing this panel because I have to try to get this little thing removed down over here. It was for our fireplace before we converted it back to wood burning. That was for the gas. So I'm gonna have Jordan remove that and take a look at it and like seal it up. But I have the panel cut down, so once he does remove all of that, I'll be able to install this really quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this panel that's for the right-hand side of the door installed, and I've gotta cut around an outlet, and I also have to cut around the countertop that's over here. Yay! Okay, it is time to paint, and as you can tell, I did some prep work. I went in with spackle a little while ago to fill in all of the nail holes. I let that spackle sit until it was dry, and then I just sanded it back. I also went in and I filled in any gap or edge with caulk. Now that has been sitting for a while and is all dry. And also, I plan on painting my door. So I had to do all of the prep work to get it ready for painting. So I removed everything from the door, filled in any nail holes, and then I cleaned the door off and sanded it back, because whoever painted it last did not do a very good job and left a lot of goopy areas. And then I went ahead and taped everything off, and now I am ready to paint. So the paint color I'm going with, it's kind of my own custom color. Did not mean to do that, it just happened that way. So I went yesterday to pick out paint, and my original color I went with was Realist Beige. And I got home, I tested it out, and it had a really solid pink undertone that was not in any of the swatches. So I didn't like it, so I took this paint back to Sherwin-Williams and had them remix it to get me as close to accessible beige as they possibly could. Although this is not accessible beige, it is almost accessible beige. I am gonna get to painting. This should be pretty easy since it's just the bottom half of the wall. So once I'm done painting, I'm gonna call it a day, and then we can get to working on more stuff tomorrow. Talk about incredible timing. I ordered this about like a week and a half ago, and it just arrived. It's a reusable paint tray, and the best part is it comes with a lid, so you can just pop it over your paint if you don't want to clean it up, and it won't dry out. Oh my gosh, this thing's incredible. Okay, I'm gonna try it out and I'm gonna get back to painting. morning, guys. Actually, never mind, that's a lie. Good afternoon. I spent the morning painting the second coat of paint on the beadboard. Also, last night, my husband removed whatever that thing was that needed to be removed from the wall so that I could put the final panel on the wall in the final trim piece. So all of that is painted as well. I probably have a few like touch-up areas to do with painting, but for the most part, the painting is done and it looks so good. So now I'm gonna get to working on my coffee bar. This is one of my favorite furniture flips that I have ever done, and it was actually one of my first furniture flips that I ever did. And for not knowing what I was doing, it has held up great, but the top has not held up great, because at the time I didn't know I should have done probably more like 7 or 8 coats of top coat to make this thing waterproof. I'm pretty sure I only did like 1 coat of top coat and thought I was good to go. So I am gonna be sanding this top down and refinishing it. So I'm gonna get to sanding and then we can go from there. It is so warm out. I do not like this. I do not like this one bit. Okay guys, so I have the top sanded down as much as I want it to be sanded down. The thing that I loved about this dresser and the top of it was how distressed and beat up it was. Like, I really like that look. So I didn't want to lose that distressed look. So I didn't go crazy with the sanding. I just sanded it down enough so that I could restain it and refinish it. And just a little while ago, I put a pre-stain conditioner on the top, and while that pre-stain conditioner soaked in, I went around and did the touch-up painting that I needed to do on this piece. So I'm gonna get to staining. I think I'm gonna start off with Honey by Minwax, just because I have it laying around. I might have to do some painting with some different stain colors, but I'm gonna start off with Honey, see how it looks, and go from there. Okay, we're gonna test out this back side. Oh yeah, that looks really nice. Woohoo! Yay! I think I like the top. I don't know, I'm going back and forth on it, but I think this is like the best I can get with the color, and I'm really hoping that several layers of like a glossy top coat are gonna, you know, help it along. So to be on the safe side, I am gonna do 8 coats of top coat. I'm also gonna do several layers of top coat on this bottom shelf so that the top and the bottom continue to have like a nice cohesive look. And also, whenever my husband gets home and one of the layers of top coat is at a nice dry point, I am going to have him help me and get this moved back inside and finish the layers of top coat inside where it's much cooler. So let's get to it. Yeah. Good morning, guys. This little corner is looking so good. So just a little while ago, I did the 8th coat of top coat, and I really think that 8th coat is what did it. This top now like really feels waterproof. It feels sealed. And I also love the like really glossy look that the top has now. So the thing that I need to work on today is adding a little bit more storage to this coffee corner. Yeah. Over the last 3 years, I've gotten like more and more like mugs and coffee accessories, and this coffee bar has slowly started to fill up, and I've started to run out of room. So the first thing that I'm gonna be adding to add some more storage is a floating shelf. And I am so excited about this floating shelf. I gotta go grab it so that I can show you how cool my floating shelf is. I'm gonna remove this bracket. I'm gonna flip this up so I can show you how cool this floating shelf is. You might be thinking, Miley, this looks just like a floating shelf. But it's not just a floating shelf. Wait, not with this key card. I'm in a weird mood today, it's fine. So if I take this key card and I go like this, it opens a secret compartment in my shelf. Isn't that so cool? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then I just close it. It locks, and then you can't get into my secret compartment. So this is Murphy's secret shelf. They sent it to me, and I was like, where could I use a secret shelf? And since I already was planning on doing a floating shelf, I figured why not make the shelf have a secret compartment. If I'm being honest, not really sure what I'm gonna put in my secret compartment because I've got nothing cool to put in there. I got no gems. I don't know why, but like if I had gems, I would for sure put them in my secret compartment. So I'm gonna get this installed. I have this bracket that came with the shelf that I've gotta get up on the wall. So I'm probably gonna move my coffee station so that it's out of the way, and I can get this shelf up on the wall. Let's do it. Hope I don't drop it, but let's figure this out. Okay, I think up here seems a little high. I think like right there is like a good height. I'm gonna put the bracket at 24. My goal is to get this bracket screwed into as many studs as possible so that I just feel better about how sturdy this floating shelf is. I can't find my stud finder, but at the same time, that thing has never worked whatsoever. So I'm gonna try this trick I saw online where you use a magnet. I don't think this is gonna work because I think you're supposed to use like a heavy duty magnet to find the screws that are holding the drywall to the studs in the wall. My best bet is that there is a stud on this side or this side of the outlet. I'm hoping it's this side. I feel like I feel something like right there. Wait, that's stuck. Okay, I'm gonna try that out because I felt like there was something there. We'll see. That is a stud. Woohoo, I found one. Okay, so now that I know where one stud is, typically studs are placed 16 inches apart from each other. I think if I just measure 16 inches over, I should hit another stud. Yeah, another stud. Nice. Okay, well that's a stud. Oh, perfect. You are level. That's so cool. Do you see that? Look how cool that is. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. So the next and final thing that I'm gonna be adding to this little coffee station to add more storage is this little rack that I'm gonna put under the floating shelf. And this rack comes with these hooks, so I can hang mugs on here, I can hang other like coffee accessories. And the thing that I'm the most excited about is I now have a place to hang up a towel as well, because I'm constantly spilling coffee and water on this little coffee station. But the only problem with this rack is that the bar is just a little bit longer than the floating shelf, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna take this and get it cut down so that they're the exact same width. So my husband took our chop saw, so I don't have that. So I'm gonna try my jigsaw. If my jigsaw is not working, I'm just gonna have to wait until I can get my chop saw. Yeah. Okay, this is definitely not gonna work. I'm gonna have to wait. Bummer. Okay guys, it is late. The sun is about to set, but I just got the saw, so I'm gonna get this cut so that I can finally get this thing installed. And that's it. Good morning, guys. guys, so I can finally finish up my little coffee corner. The one thing that I was waiting on yesterday was a thin little curtain rod for some cafe curtains for my patio door. I think cafe curtains are really just gonna like finish up this little corner and make it feel complete. So I got the curtain rod last night. I did not like the look, so it's currently outside drying because I spray painted it to a color that I do like. So while that paint dries, I'm gonna go ahead and make some curtains for my door. This is just leftover fabric I have from a previous project, and I'm kind of going back and forth on what I want my cafe curtains to look like. So I'm just gonna get started cutting out some fabric, and then we can go from there. And I should be able to rip that. Boom. So I'm tossing around a few different options for these cafe curtains. The options I'm tossing around is whether I want to do one panel of curtains or two. I've got enough fabric here that I could do one or two. And then the other options I'm tossing around is whether I want to flip this over and sew a channel in the fabric so that I can just stick the curtain rod through the channel that I sewed, or if I want to use these little curtain rings. But what I think I'm going to do is just sew that channel, and if I end up not using it, it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna go grab my sewing machine so that I can start sewing up all of these raw edges. Okay guys, so I have my curtains all sewn up and I'm just looking at my two different options. I think what I'm liking is the rings more, but I don't like these little clips that come with the rings. So what I think I'm gonna do is hand sew the curtains onto the rings, and it'll create a much more polished look. And I also just like don't like this channel side just doesn't open very nicely, whereas the rings do open nicely. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the rings. These look like I just ironed a little pleat so that they were more defined, but yeah, yay, that looks so nice. Okay guys, that completes the final thing that I had to get done for this little coffee corner. So now I can start putting everything back and putting the final touches on it. That is it guys. I feel like I always say this at the end of each video, but I am truly obsessed with this coffee corner now. I feel like the whole corner fits the coffee bar and vice versa, and I cannot wait to carry this look throughout the rest of my kitchen. It's really amazing what a fresh coat of paint can do to a space. This little corner feels so clean, and I love the addition of the rack and the floating shelf. And thank you to Murphy for sending me their secret shelf, even though I am still deciding what I can put in it. And if you would also like to get a floating shelf or anything on Murphy's website, you can use the code Miley10 to save some money at checkout. And my favorite part of this whole little refresh is the refinished top to the coffee bar. The glossy look really looks so nice, but it still has that old distressed look that I like. So I hope you guys liked this project and video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!